Welcome to Namaste. I'm Susan Kaylock, the President of the Board of Trustees here. I was just about to go into service. Why don't you join me?
Hello, I'm Reverend Bobby. I'm the Senior Minister here at Namaste. Welcome. We're glad you came to join us. Come on in. We're about to start.
Welcome, everyone. My name is Jeff Schlicht, licensed practitioner with Namaste Center for Spiritual Living. I'd like to welcome you here and now and to Namaste Center for Spiritual Living Sunday service. At the beginning of every service, we light a candle. And that candle to me represents stepping over a threshold to create a sacred space. So we do this each Sunday to create this sacred space for our service tonight. And I'd like to step into sharing our affirmation for today. I know that the changeless abides within me. I am calm and peaceful in the midst of confusion. I know that nothing moves the soul from this peace. I draw from this eternal, changeless, infinite power, the diversity of experiences of living this life. Peace, infinite peace, is at the center of my being. I live, move, and have my being in that which is perfect and complete within itself. That self is myself. And with that, I'd like to go into prayer or invocation. So however you do it, I take a breath and close my eyes. And what I truly know in this moment is the oneness that is the impersonal allness that I know God is. For it is that self that is myself. For I then am that impersonal, but I personalize that which is God in, as, and through my life. So therefore I say, Mother, Father, God, dearest, sweet one, all that I know God is, which is that love, that peace, that joy, that is the very essence of my being. And as I am anchored in this, I know that of each and every single one of us, for it is this life force that is back of all life. For we step into service knowing it is absolutely and already blessed. For it is the music we hear, the words that are spoken. For it is the connected of that oneness where that allness is. And with that, there's nothing else to do, for we have set the stage. So together, we just simply say, and so it is. Thank you.
Thank you, Jeff. Thank you, Namaste, for being here with us today. Sending love to all of you. Sing along if you know the words. 1, 2, 3. We have come together as family. We have come here as we are. Ooh. We have come with arms wide open. We have gathered here in love. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Raise the roof with shouts of praise. Spirits in this place. We sing in celebration. We sing with words of prayer. We affirm all life as sacred. We declare that peace is here. Sing it with me. Spirit is in this. Spirit is in this place. Spirit is in this. Spirit is in this place. Spirit is in this. Spirit is in this place. Raise the roof with shouts of praise. Spirit's in this place. Spirit is in this. Spirit is in this place. Spirit is in this. Spirit is in this place. Spirit is in this. Spirit is in this place. Raise the roof with shouts of praise. Spirit's in this place. Spirit's in this place.
Thank you, Con. That was beautiful. Your voice warms my heart.
Thank you.
I'm Debbie Ann, and I am a member of the board, and we are going to talk about who we are. Please join me in saying this. I honor the place in you in which the entire universe dwells. I honor the place in you which is love, truth, light, and peace. When you are in that place in you, and I am in that place in me, we recognize that we are one. Namaste. Next, we're going to talk about our mission. I learn practical science of mind tools and practice in a loving, connective, and vibrant community to reveal my power and change my life. So these are the steps. We awaken, realize, transform, and then repeat it again. And our power statements: we are a thriving, dynamic, spiritual community. Hashtag we are Namaste. Hashtag this stuff works. All right, next, our midweek opportunity to just dig deeper. Every Wednesday night from 7 to 8:30 on Zoom, led by our new minister, Reverend Veronica Silva. And then this Wednesday is the Circle. And this is our Healing Arts Ministry. The Circle this Wednesday at 7 p.m. Is with everything that's going on in our country, we want to come together in a powerful, prayer-filled way to support the healing of our country. So please join us for prayer on air, Healing America, facilitated by practitioner Angela Montano, and register on Eventbrite, please, if you're interested. Thank you. And now forming our Southern California Centers for Spiritual Living Regional Choir. This is just going to be great. I can't wait to listen to all these voices together. If you're curious, it's forming now, so email Julie Bathke or Marilee Adler to, sign up or at least get some information. It's going to be wonderful. Now, Namaste just launched our members self-service portal. This is really a great way to you can look at all the information that we have on you. You'll have your individual and family profile. You can connect with others through our online church management system, which is called Servant Keeper. You can see your donations. It's really just a hub of information. If you want to know more, contact Stephanie Melendez, and her email is listed on this slide. And starting soon, February 2nd, our Foundations of Science of Mind. This is a really great course. It's 8 weeks. It's going to be starting at 6:30. It's going to be taught by our Reverend Bobby Becker. You do not want to miss this. I've taken this, and it's a great class to really learn about all the tools we talk about every Sunday. Thank you, everybody. And here's Con.
Thank you.
Thank you.
No hands. Pour yourself in me, pour yourself into my heart. Whoa, wonderful Spirit, pour yourself in me, pour yourself into my heart. Whoa, wonderful Spirit. Pour your joy in me, pour your joy into my heart. Oh, wonderful Spirit, pour your joy in me, pour your joy into my heart. Whoa, wonderful Spirit. Shine your light in me, shine your light into my heart. Oh, wonderful Spirit. Now sing your song in me, sing your song into my heart. Oh, wonderful Spirit. Heart in me, pour yourself into my heart. Oh, wonderful Spirit, pour your joy in me, just shine your light into my heart. Oh, wonderful Spirit.
Thank you so much, Con. Now it's time for our weekly meditation. And what I've chosen is to read some excerpts out of a small little book that I got years ago. Author is Dr. Gerald Jampolsky, and the title of it is Love is letting go of fear. So let's take this time for our collective breath together. And for myself, what I do is I just take a breath in and close my eyes, as we might all say, as I close my outer eyes and open my inner eye. And I use my breath, this inhale of I am, and that exhale of letting go of all that does not serve us. Breathing in and breathing out, visually for me, just creates a pathway moving within myself to that core, that soul, that center of my being. And these are themes to live by. Love is letting go of fear. The peace of mind is our single goal. Peace. As we rest within our very self, knowing that quietness, that stillness is that infinitude that is God. And I breathe this in, letting all that, once again, does not serve me just fall off of me. I release it, I let go. Peace of mind is our single goal. Forgiveness is our single function. And the way to achieve our goal of peace of mind. Forgiveness. Allowing our experiential, what I walk through in life. For there are some actions and some words that are just not okay. Forgiveness is finding a place within myself where I can step forward with ease and grace, not creating or needing to be okay with anything, yet finding a place to allow it to live in the past as I move forward in every now moment. Through forgiveness, we can learn not to judge others and to see everyone, including ourselves, as wholeness. And we can let go of fear when we stop judging and stop projecting the past into the future and live only in the now. For it is every now moment, and now moment, and now moment. And as we breathe this in, knowing that at any time during the day, perhaps when we have moments of confusion or we look for peace, that we just center and know that this is always available to us. And it is in that same breath that I breathe in that I step back out, never really going anywhere, but just coming more present in this now moment. And perhaps we open our eyes, come back together, and know that whatever is going on in our life, that we can always take a breath, know that I am, and in my biggest of sighs and exhales, to let go of all that is not serving me to my highest good, and anchor in this now moment. All right. Thank you so much, and you have the best week. Blessings.
Oh, one day, when the glory comes, it'll be ours. It'll be ours. Oh, one day, when the war is won, we will be sure. We will be sure. Oh, glory. Glory, glory. Hands to the heavens, no man, no weapon formed against. Yes, glory is destined. Everyday women and men become legends. Sins that go against our skin become blessings. The movement is a rhythm to us, and freedom is like religion to us. And justice is juxtaposition in us. And justice for all just ain't specific enough. One son died, his spirit is revisiting us. Truant living in us. Resistance is us. That's why Rosa sat on the bus. That's why we walk through Ferguson with our hands up. And when it go down, we women and man up. They say stay down, and we stand up. Shots, we on the ground, the camera panned up. King pointed to the mountaintop, and we ran up. Oh, one day, when the glory comes, it'll be ours. It'll be ours. Oh, one day, when the war is won, we will be sure. We will be sure. Oh, glory. Glory. Glory, glory. Now the war is not over, victory isn't won, and we'll fight on until the finish. That's when it's all done, and we'll cry glory, glory, oh glory, oh. Selma's now for every man, woman, and child. Even Jesus got his crown in front of a crowd. They march with the torch, we gonna run with it now. Never look back, we done gone hundreds of miles. From dark roads he rose to become a hero. Facing the League of Justice, his power was the people. Enemy is lethal, a king become regal. Saw the face of Jim Crow underneath a bald eagle. The biggest weapon is to stay peaceful. We sing, our music is the cuts that we bleed through. And somewhere in the dream we had an epiphany, and now we right the wrongs in all of history. No one can win the war individually. It takes the wisdom of the elders and the young people's energy. Welcome to the story we call victory. The coming of the Lord. Oh, my eyes have seen the glory. One day, when the glory comes, it'll be ours. It'll be ours. Oh, one day, when the war is won, we will be sure. We will be sure. Oh, glory, glory. Oh, glory. Oh, glory. glory. Oh, glory. Oh, glory. Oh.
Wow. Thank you, Kong, for that amazing rendition of the John Legend song, Glory. Really grateful to be here tonight. I want to bring up my friend Jackie right now. And Jackie, it's so great to be with you. I'm excited to hear what you have to say. Jackie is going to do a tribute to Martin Luther King and I think his beloved wife. So let's go ahead and hear what Jackie has to say.
Well, Reverend Bobby, thank you. Namaste, community. Many of you are familiar with some of the speeches Martin Luther King delivered, and you may be familiar with his cause and the causes of the 60s. But have you ever considered the toll on his wife and his children as his work might have taken? These thoughts by no means negate the work he was doing, nor the magnitude of the cause he fought. In 1963, as he sat in the jail in Birmingham after being arrested for a peaceful, nonviolent demonstration against segregation, and after being beaten for this cause, he was questioned by the spiritual community for coming to Birmingham and causing discord, as they worded, in the community. Mind you, discord where there was no peace for people of color of that community. He asked them, are you able to accept blows without retaliation? And are you able to endure the ordeals of the jail? I'm sure their quiet resolve replies were no. He stated, injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Mind you, this was in the 60s, and here we are in 2021, and this message still rings loud in our country. These vivid scenarios continue to happen day in and day out for people of color. Just look at the events of last week. These spiritual leaders questioned the sit-ins, direct actions, marches, and other peaceful avenues to be heard versus negotiations. How does one negotiate with injustice when the very fibers of injustice are seen as just? He felt and expressed that direct action will cause a crisis within a system where negotiations would be forced to happen. Does this sound familiar in today's world? Mind you, this was over 50 years ago, and still today we continue to have this conversation. His words were, history is the long and tragic story of the fact that privileged groups seldom give up their privileges voluntarily. Individuals may see the moral light and voluntarily give up their unjust posture, but Reinhard Niebuhr has reminded us groups are more immoral than individuals. He continued on. He went on to explain his children's view on segregation. Daddy, why do white people treat colored people so mean? When you take a cross-country drive and find it necessary to sleep night after night in the uncomfortable corners of your automobile because no motel will accept you. When you are humiliated day in and out by nagging signs reading white and colored. When your first name becomes nigger and your middle name becomes boy, and when your wife and mother are never given the respected title of Mrs. When you are hurried by day and haunted by night by the fact that you are a Negro, living constantly at the tiptoe stance, never knowing what to expect next, and plagued with inner fears and outer resentments. When you are forever fighting a degenerating sense of nobodiness, then you will understand why we find it difficult to wait. There comes a time when the cup of endurance runs over and men no longer willing to be plunged into the abyss of injustice, where they experience the bleakness of corroding despair. I hope, sirs, you can understand our legitimate and unavoidable impatience. He questioned these leaders about their condemnation of peaceful marches because they cause violence. But violence from whom? I would ask you, is in this outward violence or the violence of one silent that burns deep within the consciousness? Yes, these were his words over 50 years ago, but what about today? Do they ring in the crevices of your heart, or do they vibrate at, well, it's not like that today? What part are we playing knowingly and unknowingly into this unjust mentality? He questioned the role of the church and its passiveness for the silence in the face of violence on those a society thought of as less than. He warned of the church being seen as a social club with no cause or meaning. His words rang with, I meet young people every day whose disappointment with the church has risen to outright disgust. He spoke of God consciousness, that one must seek to seek justice. He spoke of dreams for this country as well as his family. I asked this community to look deeper, or as Reverend Veronica's Wednesday night discussions are, to dig a little deeper to see where each one of us can do better, be better, and regain the God consciousness that resides in each of us. Thank you.
Mm.
Back to you, Reverend Bobby.
That was fierce, Jacqueline. That was fierce. Love it. It's a good challenge for the community. We're very grateful to have you in this community as a practitioner in training, and just what you bring as your consciousness with your family. And thank you for always challenging me.
Thank you.
Good evening, namaste. I'm out here in beautiful Temecula land and doing a little camping. And wow, can you believe the view behind me? It is amazing. It is amazing. What a time we live in. What a time we live in. Martin Luther King said, if we are to have peace on earth, our loyalties must transcend our race, our tribe, our class, and our nation. And this means we must develop a world perspective. There is an invitation to develop a world perspective, but we also must recognize the perspective that we hold. When I was younger, as many of you know, I was raised in the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, also called Mormon. We were often told as children, both in church, and I went to seminary every morning and in high school, and we were told that one day the Constitution of the United States will hang by a thread, and a Mormon or a group of Mormons will save the nation. We were taught that the Constitution might once be close to being destroyed, and that it would be up to us. Some of the things that I was talked to about was the fact that father will be against son, son against father, mother against daughter, daughter against mother. The most terrible scenes of bloodshed, murder, and rape that have ever been imagined or looked upon will take place. That people will be taken from the earth, and there will be peace and love only in the Rocky Mountains. Now, this was a perspective that I grew up with. And what was really alarming to me at the time I was very young was that somehow I would be called upon to stand and fight. And I see this perspective that I grew up with, and at some point I realized that this perspective wasn't necessarily rational. This, what I just shared with you, was called the White Horse Prophecy within the Mormon Church. And it was actually not church doctrine, but a lot of what the fringe of what I grew up with in my faith, the fringe population, took that as being what we must do. And in some cases I look at what happened in our capital and saw what was going on and how people felt so called to do what they were to do. I'm not saying what they did was right, because it isn't. But what I'm saying is that we must recognize our own, in some cases, that we're all complicit in what shows up as generally race consciousness, that we all have a part in it. And sometimes it's hard to see what that was. I could see myself marching on Washington today if I was still Mormon. I could see myself doing that. And I have to recognize that that's within me. And that no one group of people or tribe or part of society, even the president, is responsible for what has happened. We all collectively feed into the consciousness, and it is up to us to find and to look at and to consider, what exactly is my part in this? Can I be held by a belief? And I think in this case, many have been, that has no room to have a much broader or bigger perspective. And there's an invitation that I can offer up, which is that I must rise or seek a higher truth. From a global perspective, there are deeply held beliefs that have been radicalized, and it's prompted the collective action that we saw. Still, I must look at myself and say, what beliefs about myself and others and situations that I look at now do I have such intense and I would say even radical judgment around? What is the greater truth that's unfolding about myself, others, and the very situation that we find ourselves actually viewing? I mean, where has there been a time when so much collectively has challenged us, has asked us to both retreat and stand, to speak out, to speak up? We're resilient and stubborn as a species. And what I find is so interesting is that we keep apart what wants to come together, which is each one of us, that we are a collective, that is up to us to stand and speak. And it is also us to pause and look within. For it is the inner journey that plays on the outside. There's a threshold that we're standing on. And what I find so interesting is I have no idea what's unfolding. I'm actually looking in the green room right now and I'm seeing folks down there and I'm looking and saying, what is it? What is it that is unfolding? And I don't know what it is. But I do know that I have a choice and I have a responsibility of how I must be in this. One of the things that I think we've lost at this time when you've looked at social media and a host of others is the fact that we've lost a true sense of what an argument is. Argument has become about what is right and what is wrong, that I'm right and you're wrong. And really what argument was always supposed to be was how can we find a greater truth in the conversation that we can have? How can we find a greater truth? How can we find a greater truth? I was listening, Jackie, our beloved Jacqueline, and I were having a conversation yesterday, and I won't reveal what she said, but she revealed something to me that really touched my heart and made me understand that something that Emma Curtis Hopkins says. She said it's primarily what we most see and not what we most think that constitutes our presence, power, and history. What she expressed to me, I did not see, which reminds me often that I can be very blind because I don't have a perspective of another, and it's up to me to expand my perspective. It's up to me to talk and to listen, mostly listen, and to hear what others and their experience might be. What's interesting, I'm going to come back to the argument piece, is that what we're experiencing and watching, the love and the suffering, and what comes back to me a lot is the humility of life. It wears away our walls of resistance. And it allows spirit, the light within me, to shine. It allows me that these coverings, like clothes that I wear, are worn away by life, and that this light that we all are can pour into the world. But we have to allow life to do that. We have to allow the experiences of life to open us and not to shut us down. Emma Curtis Hopkins says, it is not the light, but the cause that light is. It is not the mind, but the cause that mind is. Nor spirit, but the cause that spirit is. We play in that first cause by the things that we truly see and what we truly believe. We put into the universe those things that we believe and we feel, and we create the universe around us. We co-create that. Which means that we must return often to what the root of it all is, so that we can become very conscious of what we truly believe and what we truly see. Returning to the root means to rest. One who regulates one attitude by it will become one with it, as Emma Curtis says. We have been invited to let go of this argument of the need to be right and wrong, of this need to hold on to the side that I'm on. I have to think of what happened in South Africa during apartheid and how Nelson Mandela invited people from all sides to sit and have conversations, for people that had contributed to the violence from the white supremacist side to speak to the things and to the violence that they had contributed to. And folks that were part of the Black South African population to speak about the things that had happened. We still have not owned what we've done as a country. We still have not owned what we've done to many people. And maybe there's an opportunity in all this that now we must look within. We must really look at the inner life of our country and decide truly what we want to be. But to do this, we must also allow others to come in with their own understanding, to shift into that greater surrender into what life can be, into what I'm to be in it. How do we do this really in a way that continues to step back from that argument about what is right or what is wrong? How can I do that? How can I be part of the solution and not be part of continuing to perpetuate the negativity that continues to show up? What is it that I can do? What we do at Namaste often is we teach classes like Foundations, to where we can step in and really look at how did our life get to be this way. I know our practitioner students in training are doing the very same thing right now, which is, how does life become like this? How did things become like this in our country? And the truth is, it's always been there. But there is a light that's been shown upon it, and it's revealing itself. But as long as I only think it's the other person or the other that needs to change, then nothing really changes. It's up to me, and I think about beloved Jacqueline and what she shared with me. It's up to me to step outside of what I just think I see and to open up my vision into what possibly else could be happening, and to be able to hear others, to hear what's happening for them, to hear the difficulty, the challenges, the suffering, the joy, to hear all of it, and to not judge or consider what another's choice might be. Something that Martin Luther King spoke to, which I had never heard, and I keep rolling this through my head, which is, a riot is the language of the unheard. That a riot is the language of the unheard. And I think there are so many people that have not been heard, whether it was in their childhood, in their adult years, in the workplace, whether it was in their community, whether it is nationally, whether it is globally. So many are not being heard. And it's time that we listen. It's time that we listen. And we listen with the ear of the heart, which doesn't come from judgment, doesn't try to change a mind, but we listen. As beloved Donna says, love is the most powerful. It is. One of the things I'd like to offer up at this time is something that Mark Nepo does in his book, in the book of the month that we have right now. And he talks about immersion and devotion, which is something that we can do. It's something that we can allow ourselves to do that does not require a class, but it does require us to pause. Immersion and devotion. Immersed means to dip in, and devote comes from the Latin mean, which means to uphold a vow. Last week we talked about covenants, and what are our covenants or agreements with the universe and how we live our life. To immerse. Can we immerse ourselves into what is quite possibly the truth, a higher reality? Can we devote ourselves to a spiritual practice? Or can we devote ourselves to truly what is that higher reality? To do both together is to bring full attention and dip into what is happening around us so that we can be the light in the world. Both allow us to experience eternity and transformation. They allow us to evolve. Now, what Mark Nepo said about living, which I think in the book is just really beautiful. He says, after being born physically, we unfold within a second womb, and that is meant to incubate our better angel. The second womb is an experiential one that, through the labor of a lifetime, births the soul on earth. We have an opportunity to allow ourselves to experience, to not step away, but step into, to immerse ourselves in the study or the experience of not only just ourselves, but others on this journey, to look at things slightly different that we see on TV, to hold in prayer folks that are really challenged and struggling, who've become what I would say radicalized, knowing that that same thing exists within us. Can we have compassion for, but still call for justice? Can we do both? Can we hold the paradox of both? And I think we can. Mark Nepo says, if we allow ourselves to experience that immersion into life, whatever we love over time becomes a garden. Whatever we love over time becomes the garden. I just want to thank you, Namaste, for joining us tonight as we celebrate Martin Luther King's birthday, which is tomorrow. Consider the gift that he brought. Consider the gift that he continues to give the folks within our community as they continue to serve. I'm grateful to be here. And so let me just offer up this prayer. Just recognizing that this divine presence that is God is all there is. This power, this one mind, this universal consciousness, the thing itself. It is the joy and the love and the peace that always is. And what I recognize about this is it is always present. It is the container for it all. I know that I'm one with it, and I know the community of Namaste is one with it. So as I step into this present, this here and now that we've been speaking about, of what we are and what we can be, I just know that the answer is at the door, and that I just pause and allow that greater reality to manifest and make itself known as me. And I know this is true for each. I bless this beloved community that we are and how we show up. I know that we are one voice and one heart. So grateful for this time that we get to come together at this time. So I just say thank you in gratitude, knowing it is all good. I allow this time to be, and so it is. Amen. So this is the time of our conscious giving. I also wanted to say a couple thank yous before we go. Nikki, I want to say blessings to you. I know that you got laid up with your back, and I'm so grateful that Jeff got to step in. Appreciate his service. And Terry, why don't you just pop yourself up here right now? I just want to thank, you've got to be bigger than that, Terry. Exactly.
Here we go.
Thank you for being the director you are and for stepping up and serving tonight. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for the opportunity.
Good. And I just want to thank Kong for who he is and how he shows up. He's amazing, and he's the music director that was called for us. Oh, and I just want to thank Debbie Ann, our board of trustees, and for how she shows up and what she is. And so in that, I'm just going to call, if you could go ahead and put that slide up, Terry, for the giving. And whatever it is, the gift that you have this evening as Namaste, let's just take that gift and put that gift and place our hand over our heart and hold that gift right here and right now, knowing that that gift is me. That whatever it is, time, treasure, talent, but as we give tonight, we give to this community, knowing that this gift that is given continues to expand who we are. We give with no judgment. We only give. So I just bless this gift tonight and call it good. And so it is. So my friend Terry, what do we have next? I've lost a little light out here, so Thank you. So let us do our Namaste benediction for the evening, and then we'll bring Kong up and he'll close us with beautiful Shower the People. So if you could just say this with me. Something wonderful is happening through me right now. It is this thing called life. Life is in my body. Life is in my mind. I just reversed that because I can't see. Life is all that I am. Life is all that we are. I accept it. I am it. I share it with all, just the way it appears and just the way it appears not. Thank you, life. So Kong, why don't we bring up Kong and let us have him do Shower the People. Thank you, Kong. I loved what you did with John Legend's song.
Thank you very much, and excellent suggestion. I'm glad we were able to do that one this week. Beautiful, beautiful song.
Who's our friend there in the background?
Oh, is that? Can you see her?
I did.
This is my puppy, Chloe.
Oh, hi, Chloe.
She's jealous. She wants to be in the show.
Yeah, don't.
She's walking around. She's tapping the beat. She's trying.
That's so sweet. Thank you, Kong.
Thank you, Bobby, and thank you, Namaste. Shower the people. Let's shower our people with love. You can play the game, you can act out the part, but you know it wasn't written for you. But tell me, how can you stand there with your broken heart, ashamed of playing the fool? One thing can lead to another, doesn't take any sacrifice. Oh, father and mother, sister and brother, if it feels nice, don't think twice. Just shower the people you love with love. Show them the way that you feel. Things are gonna work out fine if you only will. Shower the people you love with love. Show them the way that you feel. Things are gonna be much better if you only will. You can run, but you cannot hide. This is widely known. And what you plan to do with your foolish pride, well, you're by yourself and all alone. Once you tell somebody the way that you feel, you can feel it beginning to ease. I think it's true what they say about the squeaky wheel always getting a grease. Just shower the people you love with love. Show them the way that you feel. Things are gonna work out fine if you only will. Just shower the people you love with love. Show them the way that you feel. Things are gonna be much better if you only will. Sing it with me. Shower the people you love with love. 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 Ooh, ooh, oh, yeah, yeah, oh. Shower the people you love with love. Show them the way that you feel. Things things are gonna be much better if you only will.
Wow, Colin, you certainly know how to bring us home.
Thank you, Bobby.
Thank you. I just want to thank everybody. Wow, this view back here is amazing. What a gorgeous night to do service in Temecula, and really grateful to be part of our community. Be safe this week, be conscious, and be present in the choices you make and how you are with others. Let's be kind. And just thank you for joining us. And I'm grateful for all of you and who you are. Have a great week.